And we're back on the road to take on the last portion of our getaway. The road from Casares deep into the Serranía de Ronda to the region's capital. The road is beautiful, with breathtaking mountain views and a rich and changing flora. I must warn you, the road is windy. Just over an hour of bend after bend until we get over the mountains that flank the town of Ronda. As we approach the town, the beautiful view of grapevine salutes us. Ronda retains much of its historic charm. It is famous worldwide for its dramatic ridges and cliffs, and for the deep El Tajo gorge that carries the Rio Guadalquivir through its center. Visitors make a beeline for the 18th century Puente Nuevo, the new bridge, which straddled the 100-meter chasm below, before taking in the gorgeous view from the Alameda out over the Serranía de Ronda mountains. The last decade has seen new interesting wines from Ronda, with considerable effort being made by local producers to promote Rondan viticulture. And today we are going to meet one of its pioneers.
Friedrich. Hello Alex.
Good morning.
Good morning, nice to meet you. You have had a nice trip?
Thank you very much, very good, thank
Fantastic.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
No problem at all, it's a pleasure to be here.
So I will show you our property. We are here on Finca Sanguijuela. It's Bodega Winery F Schatz, and we are in Ronda, and well, I will show you our winery with 3 hectares who we have with wines.
Federico wanted to discover a new region where he could develop his love of organic wine production. He was drawn to Ronda due to its unique atmosphere, vital for biodynamic farming. Unlike food production, wine growers do not have to list the additives or synthetic flavors that they use, meaning that very few of us actually know what we're drinking. That is not the case with Schatz. His produce is organic and pure.
This is our dog Lucas.
Hello, Lucas. Hello, Lucas.
He's the real owner of the property, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
So we have here now 3 hectares, 15,000 wines. We are growing from 9 different grape varieties, 6 different wines. So we have 5 single variety wines with only 1 grape, 100% 1 grape, and 1 wine who is a blend where we have mixed with 4 different grapes.
Okay.
Ronda was a very important wine growing area times ago. In 1876, 12,500 hectares of wine. And then it broke down, the wine growing here in the area. So when I came here in '82, I'm originally German, so a little bit of the history of our family. We are a wine grower family. The origin of our family is from the north part of Italy, so right. It's still the German spoken area. And the family emigrates there in 1641 to the south of Germany near Stuttgart. I came here with 18 years in '82, and I seek for a place who we can grow wines from traditional well-known grape varieties, but in a different way, because we wanted to grow them up in organic, natural and biodynamic way.
Right.
And finally in 2001 we catch the denomination of origin who was founded, and it's a new denomination of origin who is called Sierras de Málaga, because we are linked to the traditional wine growing area Málaga, who is very well known with sweet wines, of course.
Yes.
And we are the only one inside of Sierras of Málaga who have the right to be mentioned on the label as a subzone.
Right.
because we were so special at the beginning that we wanted to have different things. For example, when we talk about the quantity of harvest, when we talk about how we have to harvest, we have more quality level, let's say.
Right.
So from the beginning, we are a subzone Serranía of Ronda inside of the DO, denomination of origin Sierras of Málaga.
And this biodynamic organic wines is obviously a trend now. Is very fashionable. Is growing. Is a growing market. However, back in the 80s, I suppose you would be one of the pioneers on this.
Yes, we were the pioneer here in Ronda with starting the wine growing. Then we were also the pioneer in the province of Málaga with organic. We are the first organic winery, certified organic winery in the province of Málaga also. And of course, my intention is to grow good wines, to can produce good wines. And finally, you can do it in two ways, as I think. So one way is going with the chemicals to can produce the wines, but you have to use the chemicals. And the other way is go with the nature and work with the nature and not against the nature. And then you need a very, very nice, good quality and a health grape. Then with a nice and health grape, you can produce a very nice, organic, natural and biodynamic wines.
So I'm looking forward to see how you do it on site and to visit the vine. So
yes, perfect. Just we are here in the garden. It's very important for ourselves. So we have here, this year a little bit cut it very strong, our Arayan. This is a very special plant who helps us to can avoid a lot of insects, bad insects. A thing who the insects smell from far away, from kilometers far away. They are more intelligent as us. And so finally the bad insects don't like the smell, so they don't came here. And the good insects, yes, like the smell and then they stay here.
Right.
And they help us. This is one of these points. And then probably you can hear also the birds who are now singing. So we have a lot of huge trees here in the area, especially this tree have a lot of nests upstairs.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of birds family who are staying here, who are living here. So this is what we are doing. We work with nature. Yes, that's it a little bit. So let's go a little bit through the garden and then we will see down the vines and I will show you also our system who we use for fertilizing. It's called green fertilizing, but we will see it down, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes, you are welcome. Because the very special climate who we have here with the low temperature in the night, we have this special natural effect also. And it's one of the reasons also to came here because Ronda has a very special microclimate. It's because we have very low temperature in the night and this helps us that the grapes can relax. And then we have also more acidity in the grapes.
Now this time of the year the vines are quite dormant.
Yes.
But then soon the verson will start and the flowers and that's when the frost and the strong rain can damage.
Yes.
What's the situation here? Because you've got a decent amount of rain here in
Yes,
in
but
Ronda.
it's very easily because we have normally the rainfall from October to May. So what happens is that in March, final of March, 1st of April, when the vines are starting with growing, when the buds are coming out, then normally we have no more late frosts.
Right.
Normally, sometimes can happen, but I've had only in all my time here since '82 1 year our vines were damaged with late frosts. There enters a little bit the special situation of the microclimate of the situation of the property of the own finca. So we are very well protected left hand with these small mountains, right hand also with the other small mountains from the Sierra of Sanguijuela who we have in the north. The north, when the wind wave came from the north, they came very high. So when the cold mass of air will go down to the valley, finally there is a river with water and then he takes out the cold mass of air. So finally the cold air will not reach here.
I can see you use the growing system in Spain is known as espaldera.
Yes, espalier frame, yes, correct.
Do you use any other?
No, it's
growing,
espalier
or?
frame and we will go down to show you later there. It's also with the pruning of WO. Let's go down and see it there, yes.
You have it divided by plots with different grape varieties.
Yes,
correct?
yes. And now we can see here our spalier frame. It's 2 wires up, 1 wire down. So you see here the weeds who we have in the middle, and this helps us to can have a very nice protection from the erosion, and also he gives us the organic material that when we do the mulching we leave back the organic parts, and so they do the composition, the compost in situ, and finally we will have the nutrient in the soil perfectly.
And you said how many varieties? Do you plant 7?
Yes, we have planted 9 different varieties. So we have our main variety, it's the grape variety Lemberger. We are the only winery in Spain with this grape variety. I like this grape variety a lot. For my thinking, it's the indigenous, oldest grape variety from Spain.
Right.
Because the origin of this grape variety is not Germany or Hungary, as a lot of people think. The grape variety came originally from the south part of Russia, from the area of Georgia, and from the Black Sea area. And the Iberian people also came 2,500, 3,000 years ago from this area. When I planted this grape here, it was so amazing to see how it grows so perfectly in the vine, in the countryside, and how it has amazing, nice quality of grapes, and how the grapes are in the cellar converted in fantastic wine. We need different grape varieties. The climate is changing, by the way. The Lemberger grape is the most planted grape variety in Australia because of the climate change. Really? We winemakers need different grape varieties to can attend the different tastes and flavors who the people like, finally the clients, you know.
I can see that everything has a purpose in this vineyard. What's the purpose of
Yes, the huger insects who are not eaten from the birds, they are more in the soil, and mostly when I do some work with my tractor in the vines, then they have all my chickens behind me and doing the rest of the controlling of the soil. And of course, the most important thing, I like to drink a good bottle of wine, so I need good food. So when I have a very nice tortilla from my own potatoes, from my own eggs, you can't imagine how good you can work.
Using nature and its herbs, animals and insects, Scahtz achieves fabulous results without the need to resort to chemicals. Federico also teaches us some of his very innovative and exotic biodynamic techniques. There is a beautiful synchronicity in his explanations and a fair amount of logic too, so much so that you wonder why every producer isn't working with nature instead of against it. He describes his biodynamic herbs as homeopathy for the soil. He uses ground quartz buried inside an old bull's horn to enrich the earth. Chamomile, wild nettle, yarrow and valerian add nutrients to the vines. He's entirely convinced that all of this is absorbed into the grape, transformed into wine, and then is drunk by his customers, and that there is no healthier way to drink. In his bodega, the walls lined with barrels and framed awards for most of his wines. There are 6 wines in the range, including 4 red, Finca Sanguijuela, Pinot Noir, Petit Verdot, and his signature label Asinipo, a white Chardonnay, and a Rosé, and I cannot wait to taste them.
Now we have our new rosé in the glass. It's 2019 vintage. Really amazing how it's coming out, these special Moscatel Negro aromas and flavors who are very unique. You know, Málaga, it's tierra of Moscateles. Means Málaga, it's the space, the area where we have a lot of Moscatels. And so I think it's really amazing also to have these Moscatel here. We are the only winery also in Spain with this grape variety.
It's curious because I've tasted, it's the only black muscat I've tasted from Spain, but I tasted some from California, some sweet black muscat, and obviously very different, but they have a very similar kind of back aromas, herbaceous aromas, herbal and aromatic herbs, and which are very characteristic of this grape variety. So
Yes, of course. Finally, it's the same grape variety, so we have a special center of the wines who give the same taste, but depending on the area of the terroir, it's different. And what I like here, it's the difference between nose and mouth. For example, we have a very spicy nose, we have a very flowery nose, a very sweet nose. And finally, when you will think the wine will be sweet, but when you have it in your mouth, you see that the wine is completely dry, bone dry, and this is really the amazing point. And then you can have more capacity also to enjoy the wine in enough, again, more quantity. And in our area, where we have a lot of seafood, where we have also a lot of possibility, or in your country, in Gibraltar, you have a lot of asiatic restaurants. We have a lot of wasabi, we have a lot of these soya and these rare fish and rare meat and so on. It goes very fine with this wine. Where, for example, a special white wine or red wine don't work, you better need, for example, to take a beer or to take a champagne or a cava or a sherry wine or port wine, but this rosé goes with the special food who normally does not marry well with this. And let's taste now the Atelipo 2014. Perfect. It's, as I have told you, my favorite. It's really the fantastic Lemberger grape, and I like this wild cherry aromas, very fruity. We have a lot of wild berries from the forest. Then you have a little bit of also like licorice, also like spicy things, balsamic. Oh, it's really amazing. It's sip by sip, glass by glass, bottle by bottle. It's a wine you will never be saturated. It's really a wine who you can drink when it's raining, when you have sunshine, when it's cold, when it's warm, for fish, for meat, for vegetables, whatever.
And it's curious, we're talking of a wine that is older than 5 years, yes. and it's so fresh, and you know.
If I don't tell you the vintage, you will think it's 18 or whatever. Yeah. Yes, surely. Also, if you have a look on the color, you see there's no brown or no orange colors on the circle. So finally, it's a lot of violets still, hints of violets there.
So Friedrich, thank you very much for having us today. It's been amazing, visiting your property. We encourage everyone to come and visit you. I'm sure you will welcome them with open arms.
Of course.
And especially seeing the uniqueness of your way of doing wines. Thank you very much, Friedrich.
Thank you very much, Alex, and I like also to say you it was really a pleasure to have you here today, and I'm really also very happy that you have liked our wines, and that you are working to show our wines to other people. And so finally, I think it's really amazing that you show these possibilities to other people, and they can enjoy to have a fantastic trip to Ronda. So they have a lot of things to do, and I think it's really very, very interested in, and very nice to can do these things in the surrounding of.
But always with a stop on Bodegas.
Of course, and to have a good glass of wine.
Cheers.
Cheers.